Hello Lakers fan, if you are one of those who are always up to date with the news about our Lakers, then you need to stay tuned to what is coming up on our Lakers news channel. I am preparing exclusive coverage on the possible signings of LakeRs, and what I can tell you is that rumors are catching fire on social media, and if you don't want to miss any information, stay tuned. We have exclusive news every day. If you are a true Lakers and don't want to be left out of the news, be sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's go to the video.
Lakers news. LeBron James weighs in on the rise of zone defense in the playoffs. With the Lakers season wrapped and LeBron James recovering from the knee injury he sustained in LA's final playoff game, the superstar has had plenty of time to sit back, watch, and break down the action in this year's NBA postseason. One trend that's caught his eye: the increased use of zone defense by several teams looking to slow down today's high-octane offenses. Zone defense has traditionally been used sparingly in the NBA, but this year, more teams seem to be turning to it at key moments to disrupt defensive rhythm. On a recent episode of his Mind the Game podcast with Steve Nash, LeBron offered insight into why that shift is happening, and what makes zone such a valuable tool. The whole point of a zone from the start was always about breaking rhythm. When a team is locked in and cooking against man-to-man, and nothing's working, pick-and-roll coverage, ISO coverage, you try something different. Switching to a zone forces them to slow down, rethink. Suddenly it's not just about reacting, it's about processing. That's not every player's strong suit. LeBron emphasized that zone isn't just about XS and OS, it's about messing with a team's flow. Now you've got guys thinking instead of instinctively reacting. It becomes mental. And when you do that, you level the playing field. That's why it's such a powerful option to have in your defensive toolkit. He pointed to teams like Cleveland, which has deployed Evan Mobley, this year's Defensive Player of the Year, at the top of a 3-2 zone. At 7 feet tall with a massive wingspan, Mobley can completely alter how an offense operates. LeBron also mentioned Miami, which occasionally puts Bam Adebayo at the top to similar effect. It changes the geometry of the game, LeBron explained. Even having a guy like Russ or Christian Braun just hang in the middle while Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is running pick and rolls, it turns the court into a chessboard. And I'm yelling from the wing, force him right, or send him left. It's a whole new dynamic. At this level of basketball, where both teams know each other's tendencies inside and out, any wrinkle that disrupts rhythm, no matter how small, can tilt the momentum. Zone defense does just that. I know your plays, you know mine. I know your strengths, your weaknesses, whether you like to spin right, stop on a dime, or drive baseline. At this point, it's chess, not checkers. So when a coach throws in a zone, all he really wants is to make you pause. That moment of hesitation? That's the advantage. Even for high IQ players like LeBron or Luka Doncic, a zone won't hold forever, but if it forces a few possessions of second-guessing, it's done its job. LeBron embraces the grittier side of playoff basketball. Another element LeBron always welcomes in the playoffs is the increased physicality. With referees letting more contact go, the game gets tougher and more intense. I love it, LeBron said. That level of physicality? That's fun. I wish we could play like that all season. Of course, LeBron knows not every player has the durability to thrive in that kind of environment. And he acknowledges that the NBA's balance between tough, gritty defense and a more open, flowing game is important for the league's entertainment value. I've got the body for it, so I'm good either way. But yeah, I get it. For the league, keeping things open during the regular season makes sense. Still, in the playoffs, when the game gets real, I'm always ready. The Lakers' evolving identity, a blend of experience and innovation. As the 2025 NBA season concluded with the Los Angeles Lakers' early postseason exit, the team's future remained a topic of intense speculation. The integration of Luka Doncic into the Lakers lineup had injected a fresh dynamic, and the synergy between him and LeBron James was becoming increasingly evident. In a recent episode of the Mind the Game podcast, Doncic expressed his admiration for LeBron's work ethic and leadership, noting, "We get better and better every day." This growing chemistry between the two stars has fueled optimism among fans and analysts alike about the Lakers' prospects for the upcoming season. LeBron's commitment to excellence extends beyond his on-court performance. Former Miami Heat guard Mario Chalmers recently shared insights into LeBron's rigorous fitness regimen, revealing that James maintains an impressive conditioning routine and is constantly engaging in recovery practices. Whether it's using recovery technology or sticking to strict fitness protocols, James is always doing something to aid his physical recovery and maintain peak performance levels. Looking ahead, the Lakers' strategic direction. With the off-season underway, the Lakers are poised to refine their strategies and strengthen their roster. The collaboration between LeBron James and Luka Doncic is expected to be a focal point, with both players bringing unique skills and experiences to the team. As they continue to build their partnership, the Lakers aim to enhance their defensive schemes, including the effective use of zone defense, and leverage their offensive talents to compete at the highest level in the upcoming season. Luka Doncic opens up about the ups and downs of life in Los Angeles. Luka Doncic's world was turned upside down last season when he was unexpectedly traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers. Superstars of Doncic's caliber rarely get moved, especially not mid-season, and especially not without requesting it. What made the transition even tougher for the Slovenian phenom was that he had just settled into a new home in Dallas, a place he genuinely believed would be his long-term base. Understandably so, considering he had just led the Mavericks to the NBA Finals the year before. But if there's one thing the NBA never fails to remind its players, it's this: basketball is a business. And Doncic learned that the hard way. Still, looking back, this trade might end up being a blessing in disguise. Now he's suiting up for one of the most iconic franchises in sports history, playing in one of the biggest, most influential cities in the world. Doncic didn't have much time to process everything before hitting the court again, but in a recent episode of the Mind the Game podcast with LeBron James and Steve Nash, he shared some early thoughts on life in LA, the good, the bad, and everything in between. "This is actually the first city I've ever played in that's by the ocean, and I love it," Doncic said. "Honestly, that's the first thing that stood out to me after just a few days. It's a lot, but I really like it. The only thing is the traffic." Of course, life as a Laker comes with more than just ocean views. In Los Angeles, celebrities are a regular fixture at home games, sitting courtside and bringing star power to the arena. But for Doncic, it's not something he's overly fazed by. "Not really," he admitted. "But yeah, there are famous people at almost every game. It's crazy to see, but it doesn't affect me that much." While the end of the season wasn't ideal for the Lakers, there's optimism in the air. With a full off-season to adjust, build chemistry, and recharge, Doncic and his new teammates could be poised for a serious title run in 2025-26. A dream pairing, Doncic and LeBron. One silver lining of the blockbuster trade? Doncic now has the chance to share the floor with LeBron James, a player he idolized growing up and studied closely throughout his development. Although they only shared the court for a few months, Doncic described the experience as unforgettable and incredibly valuable, both personally and professionally. Learning from one of the greatest to ever play the game has already left its mark on the 25-year-old star. Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Don't miss exclusive player interviews, behind-the-scenes coverage, live shows, and more. Luka Doncic's transition to the Lakers, a new chapter amidst unprecedented change. The trade that sent Luka Doncic from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers in February 2025 sent shockwaves through the NBA. For Doncic, the move was both a professional opportunity and a personal upheaval. Reports suggest that he was deeply affected by the trade, even shedding tears upon learning of it, especially considering he had recently purchased a $15 million home in Dallas. Despite the initial emotional toll, Doncic quickly embraced his new role with the Lakers. In a recent appearance on the Mind the Game podcast alongside LeBron James and Steve Nash, Doncic expressed his excitement about playing with LeBron, stating, "It's a dream come true." He highlighted their growing chemistry on the court, noting, "We get better and better every day." The trade also had significant implications for both teams. In exchange for Doncic, the Mavericks acquired Anthony Davis, aiming to bolster their defense. However, some analysts, like NBA veteran Danny Green, have expressed concerns about the defensive capabilities of the new Lakers duo, suggesting that their combined age and playing style might pose challenges in building a championship-caliber roster. The Guardian. Looking ahead, the Lakers' preseason game against the Mavericks on October 15th in Las Vegas is expected to be a highly anticipated matchup, rekindling the drama surrounding the trade. Both teams will be eager to showcase their new lineups and set the tone for the upcoming season. Reuters. Lakers news: LeBron James unfazed by Anthony Edwards' physicality in first-round series. LeBron James, a seasoned veteran of countless playoff battles, knows better than anyone that postseason basketball is a different beast. The stakes are higher, and the way the game is officiated reflects that. Fouls that would be called in the regular season? Often overlooked once the playoffs begin. After the Los Angeles Lakers' early exit in the first round, James opened up about the level of physicality on his podcast Mind the Game, which he co-hosts with Steve Nash. One name came up more than once: Minnesota Timberwolves star Anthony Edwards. James made it clear, he's fine with a physical game. In fact, he welcomes it. But what he doesn't appreciate is the inconsistency in how it's called. If that's how the game's gonna be played, that's fine by me, James said. But it's gotta go both ways. I was trying to make a cut and Ant just body checks me with both arms. I'm 5 yards off the ball. If this were the NFL, that's a flag every time. But hey, it was fun. It was intense. You just start wondering, where's the line? Or is there even one? James wasn't complaining, he was calling for fairness. He acknowledged that Edwards, often matched up against him, seemed to get more leeway when it came to using his hands. The 22-year-old guard even admitted during the series that he was trying to be a pest to the 40-year-old legend, knowing full well how strong and dominant James still is. It's a debate that comes up every year. Why does the game change so much in the postseason? The regular season and playoffs can feel like two entirely different sports, and the players know it. But James, ever the competitor, takes it all in stride. You're not getting away with that stuff in the regular season. In the playoffs? Maybe. So let's test it and see what happens. As for what's next for James, he's kept quiet about his future, especially in the wake of the Lakers' loss. Still, early signs point to him exercising his player option and returning for at least one more season in 2025-26. And knowing LeBron, he's far from done competing at the highest level. James' candid remarks didn't go unnoticed. His reflections on officiating sparked conversations across sports media, with analysts and former players weighing in on the ever-changing standard of playoff basketball. Some praised his transparency, while others suggested it was a subtle way to hold the league accountable without outright criticism. What stood out the most was James' tone, not one of frustration, but of competitive spirit and leadership. He wasn't making excuses for the Lakers' early exit. Instead, he used the platform to highlight a broader issue many players have voiced for years: consistency in officiating, especially when the stakes are highest. Meanwhile, Anthony Edwards' performance throughout the series only added fuel to the fire. The young Timberwolves star emerged not just as a dominant scorer, but also as a fearless defender, even when matched up against one of the greatest players of all time. His boldness and intensity drew both admiration and criticism, with some questioning whether the referees gave him too much freedom due to his rising star status. Edwards himself seemed unfazed by the noise. When asked about guarding LeBron, he responded with his trademark confidence. That's LeBron James. If you don't bring everything you've got against him, you're gonna get exposed. I wasn't trying to disrespect him, I was trying to make it tough. That's what competitors do. As the dust settles, the Lakers organization now faces several tough decisions. With another first-round playoff exit, pressure is mounting on the front office to retool the roster around LeBron and Anthony Davis. Questions swirl about the coaching staff, potential trades, and how much longer the team can realistically contend with its current core. But perhaps the biggest storyline is LeBron himself. Despite turning 40 later this year, he continues to play at an elite level, showing no visible signs of slowing down. According to reports from league insiders, James is leaning toward picking up his $51.4 million player option for the 2025-26 season, a move that would all but guarantee he remains in purple and gold for at least one more year. What's more, the possibility of playing alongside his son, Bronny James, looms large. With the younger James eligible for the 2024 NBA draft, several teams, including the Lakers, are rumored to be considering him, not just for his potential, but also for what it could mean in drawing LeBron back for a historic father-son duo. For now, LeBron's focus remains on rest, reflection, and preparation. Whether it's addressing officiating standards or mentoring the next generation, his influence on the league is as strong as ever. One thing is certain, if LeBron does return next season, he won't just be coming back to play, he'll be coming back with a point to prove.